Hello, hello, and welcome to Crafters TV. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here for the final show of what's been a wicked Wednesday. It's been fun today, actually, and it's gone very quickly today. I think for the fact that we have had, well, everybody in today pretty much. I cannot believe it. If you check out all the various socials, mine, Debbie's and Craig's, you'll see everyone's been in today, and I think, I want to say it's the first time that you've all been in the building at the same time with me.
We're never
I can't think of that ever happening before.
That's very true. We've gone out together before, but we've never been in the building at the same time. Yeah, it's very true. So it was lovely. It was so nice.
Yeah. Debbie was here doing some filming. Craig was here on his way to Hobby Maker. And Debbie's obviously here because Debbie's here. And I'm here because I'm always here. So yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. So yes, we're in good spirits. We're ready for Beautiful Beginnings, that show where, you know, we take things back to basics for you just a little bit. It is that show as well that I always say and I always stress that you shouldn't be afraid of asking those, what you might perceive to be basic questions or those silly questions that you always talk about. This is that safe space for you to ask those questions. You can ask the questions whenever you like, but particularly in this show. So the drill is, you ask any question that you like, any crafty conundrum, anything you're stuck with, anything you're not sure about. Things like, for example, which glue to use where always comes into my mind as a question we always get. What ink pad does what? Which pen can I use with which paper? All those kind of things, right? Whatever question you've got, fire it in. And then at the end of the show, usually the last sort of 20, 25 minutes or so, we head over to Essentials Corner, which isn't actually a corner. But we head over there, we answer your questions, and hopefully we have a great time. We had 9 questions going into Essentials Corner last week, and then by the time we got there, people asked more questions. It always happens. So if you have a question, get it in nice and early. Radical Rachel on the socials puts together like a little spreadsheet thing. And then fires the questions through. So fire away. And if you want to ask any questions, I mean, don't get too personal, but you know, if you want to ask any questions about Debbie, because people were asking about, you know, Craig, how he got into crafting, all that kind of stuff. We're happy for those as well, aren't we?
Oh, you know me, open book. I'll share whatever you want with you.
Okay, ask whatever you want. It's fine. So that's coming up later on. Also, don't forget, it is the final live show for you to grab this free gift. It is the Nature's Garden Sunflower Collection Fabulous Frame Stamp and Die. That's your free gift today. I thought Jamie had fallen asleep there. So there you go. You're also going to get double points on every purchase. And you've still got your $50 free shipping as well. That is per basket, so you're not getting tagged. I'm going to stop saying that tomorrow because it's middle of the week now. But yeah, basically $50 free shipping, whatever's in your basket. If you then open another basket, you will have to get to 50 again to reach that free shipping threshold. And it is your last live show to use the code Leanne10. It was left on by mistake. We found it yesterday via a post that Leanne popped up. So we're shouting about it basically. It's Leanne10, Leann10 for 10% off. No exclusions and multiple use. So make sure you make the most of that over the course of this show. And yes, we do have, as you've already seen, the lovely Debbie Fisher-Hayar. And what kind of things are we going to be looking at in this show?
So Pretty Garden Collection. It is such a beautiful collection, and we've got it at an extraordinary price. So it is a really great collection to have. And also some of my favourites, which are the corner edgeables. So we've called them corner because they go into a corner, but they're really large, and they're almost like a hybrid create a card corner edgeable as well. So they're really pretty. And then we're going to be looking at those embossing folders. They're sort of partial embossing folders, which means you've got a space on them to be able to put your sentiments. So they're really good, sort of smaller embossing folders to use. So yeah, I can't wait to show you those as well. So it's going to be a nice busy show, but please do get your questions in.
Radical Rachel is on the socials tonight. Already in is Sarah saying good morning once again, tuning in from a very cold and snowy Tennessee. Hello to Susan, who is hi. Jane Adams says good morning. That just makes me laugh every time. Probably just me. Jane Adams says good morning everyone from a cold Las Vegas. Hello. Mary Beth Doyle says good morning from Minnesota. Gretchen Diffie says hi from Arkansas. Hello. Hi to Zoe, who's in West Sussex. Zoe and Brian in tonight. Oh, and Rachel says it's not a spreadsheet she puts together, it's a Google Doc. But if you want a spreadsheet, I can get really geeky. Google Doc is fine. Victoria's in saying, good evening, Ben, Debbie, Social Superstar and CTV team. It's freezing cold here in Preston. It was lovely to see Craig popping in, and thanks again for the hugs yesterday. You're welcome, guys. Hi, Lois in Ohio. And Victoria goes on to say, right, let me get the saucy questions out for Debbie. Do you mean tomato ketchup or brown sauce, or not that sort of saucy question?
So if it is, I love tomato sauce and I love salad cream. Oh, I need to answer them at the end though.
Oh, yeah. Remember, this is a family show. But feel free to ask a question. I might not ask it, but you can ask whatever you want. This first deal of the night is the Garden Selection, an 8-piece selection. I love this set, a lot of fun, very, very craftable, and a great set in the fact that you get everything but the pepper pad, and it's a really nice size to fit through even your smaller machines, and a great bit buster as well, right? If you've got loads of like bits of cardstock all over the place in your gubbins box, this is a great kit to work with. What I will say, the deal is exceptional tonight, and I've broken it down into 2 things that you're basically buying. So your pretty picket fence is the first thing that you will buy. I really love that because you've kind of got all the different aspects of like a scene, haven't you there?
Yeah, your picket fence is going to come in handy for so many different collections. I love this die, amazing.
And I guess you can cut and join, so you can make your picket fence as long as you want. You've got your trees in the background, grass in the foreground, so that's your first set that you're paying for, and then your second set you're paying for is your gardening tools. So you've got all of your bits and pieces in there, like your secateurs, your trowel, your forks, your rakes, your spades, your wheelbarrows, even your boots. Lovely collection. Again, if you're looking for those more masculine cards, you know, if you've got blokes in your life who like to be in the garden, potting around in the shed, retirement cards as well, I think this set will really work for. That's what you pay for. Everything else is free. So you're going to get all these great sentiments. This one is called You Grow Girl, and you've got some sentiments in here like, gardeners know all the best dirt. Thanks for everything. Compost happens. That's my fave, because that's like that other saying, isn't it? That we're not allowed to say because it's rude. Producer Nicola has just gone, say it. You dare me? Do you double dare me? I would get in real trouble. Because I think most people would laugh, someone would complain, and then I would get in trouble. Lazy days you've got on there, brighter days ahead, and be kind to everyone. That's lovely. I dig you, Producer Nicola. Watering can. And your florals in there as well, it's super cute. You've got the tree in there, the garden tree, which is really nice because you've got a tree for all seasons there, because you've got your kind of foliage that you can pop onto the tree, so you can have a tree in the winter, a tree in the summertime, butterflies in that kit as well. This is super handy as well, the planting stations. So you can create your own sort of table or your own sort of shelves there as well if you want to. That will work really nicely with some of the Halloween collections as well, you know, the little smaller collections where you had the little vials and the little potion pots and stuff. They'll work on there. You've also got your houseplants and pots in there too, which is super cute. And last but by no means least, a really handy embossing folder with the garden wall. So the majority of that I've shown you there is absolutely free, gratis, nothing. You don't want to pay for it. So take advantage. $22.40, $28.80. Use the code, get another $2.24 off that price tag, or another $2.88 if you're in the US and you're a platinum member. Let's have a look though, because it's all very well looking at the product on boards. Where you get inspired is when we have a look at the product in card form. Yeah, absolutely. Some beautiful samples here, and it just shows you that you can make them quite simplistic by putting just a small watering can on there, those welly boots, and a nice sentiment. That's brickwork in the background, which is your embossing folder. That looks absolutely stunning. But what about filling an entire card with one of our stepper cards? That again is stunning in its own right. So many pieces on there. And actually, and this is going to sound really bad, but pot plants have become massive, and not because it's the real kind. Everywhere you go, like supermarkets and stores and boutiques, they've all got fake plants at the moment. So everybody is having these fake plants everywhere. So actually, and cactus and anything like that. So these sort of succulents and pot plants, they're becoming hugely on trend, which is a sad thing to say, because plants should be on trend the whole time, because they grow all the time. But it is becoming more about those faux plants, which do look amazing, I have to say. I've got some in my own house. This is really cool. So this is a design that this workstation pushes down. So you've actually got. Cool. How amazing is that? So let me just push it back up. Ah.
So it folds flat.
Yeah.
And then you've got this bit that then folds down to hold your card together.
I love it.
I've got a feeling this card is in one of the template libraries.
It is.
Yes.
We saw it yesterday.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, so there is a card to make this, so you can see how it is. It's like a box card, but it's very clever, isn't it? Because you've got that little shelf in the middle. And if I just pop it like that so you can see inside, like so. It's very clever, so amazing. And Jackie Smith has done that one. I'm
Nice
just
one,
looking
Jackie.
to see if, oh no, I don't think this was out before the layout collection, so the template collection. No, so she's just made that from free will. Love that one as well. So again, having all those different colour pot plants. We're going to be using this tree in the first demo because I love this tree. I really like this card because it really shows how you can make the tree just quite sparse. So that's a very autumn, winter one where all the leaves have dropped off the trees.
Could be quite spooky using that with your Halloween collection
and
as
I
well.
was just going to say that as well. Absolutely. It's all right, Ben. I like your ideas. But yes, absolutely a spooky tree as well. The wheelbarrow is a great one to have. So if you know someone that's retiring or just someone that loves their garden, it's going to look absolutely amazing. And then what about using it in conjunction with other things you've got in your stash, so your alphabet dies, and then just add in those elements in there, which I think is really makes that a really special card. And then one similar to the first one, but just using those pattern papers, which we don't have anymore, do we, the pattern papers?
No.
But you can use whatever you've got in your stash. So let's pop those to the side and let us grab our garden tree. So I'm going to take that one, and actually I hadn't planned it, but I am going to just show you the actual picket fence because that's a great die to use as well. So let's die cut that picket fence as well, just so you can see how that actually looks. Just got a few little hearts in the top there, that's it, they've all gone. What's brilliant about this tree is not only do you get your main tree, you actually get multiple leaves to cut out as well. So I think this is brilliant that you've got all these, you've not just got one little die that you've got to die cut over and over again, you've actually got all of those leaves and you've got your little grass there, and then we've got our butterflies. So what I'm going to do is cut through these. Now I've got two pieces of card here in two different shades of green. So I've got more of a sort of grass green, and then I've got more of a sort of teal green here as well. So I think we could possibly cut through both of those, and I'm going to just grab my Gemini plates and send them through. Oh, there we go. So let's pop our tree onto there like so, and then let's cut some of these out.
Love the tree, says Amelie. I love this garden collection, says Melanie. Great deal. And I want the embossing folder, says Michelle. I think you can still get things individually, but obviously the best value for money is to get the collection. Very handy garden selection at a great price, says Lakieta. Yes, it is. So grab it whilst you can. It gets even better when you use that code. Last live show for the code, everybody. So if there's anything that you like, anything that you want to see, by the way, shout and let me know. That embossing folder is available individually as well.
So just popping them out so you can see the pressure of the Gemini. I've been able to cut through two of them in one go. So not only did I get all of those leaves in one go, I got double the amount, so lots of little ones. So don't be afraid to put two pieces of card in your Gemini machine. Obviously I've used our pearlized paper, which I think is about, I want to say about 180, something like that, or maybe it's thicker. Could it be about 230? Might be about 230 actually, so that will go through. So once you've got that, we've got our tree, and then let's do our picket fence. I'm just going to trim these ones and cut that fence. Like so, because that's quite a nice little added element that we can pop onto there. So just run that one through, and then while that's going through, let's take the tree out, and we'll be able to see that amazing tree, which, like I say, you can use all year round. And actually, what a great stencil as well. You can actually stencil through that and get a really cool effect. So let's pop that to the side. Just want to make sure we've got all of our die cuts. And then let's take out this one as well. So there is our picket fence.
Love that.
I do love it. It's got little hearts along the top as well.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's very, very cute. And then we're going to cut another one out so we can show you how you can get that to go longer across a piece of card. So let's do that one.
Did you say are you into gardening? Are you a gardening type person?
I
Not
do.
really.
I actually love pottering around in the garden. I just don't get the time. And also, I don't get the time to regularly do it. So I'm one of these people that I go out in the garden before spring and get everything. I sweep it all and clean it all and dig all the weeds up from all the patio, get it all really nice. And then 4 weeks later, I look out and all the weeds have grown back, and I just don't then have time to keep on top of it. I do it every single year, Ben. I always say to myself, why do I then not put down weed killer?
Oh, yeah.
Why do I not do that? And every year I will do exactly the same again this year, but because I've not gone out and bought any weed killer, I just don't do it again. And then and the drive's getting the same as well. So we've got a drive with shingle on it. And all the weeds have started to come up in the shingle, and it's like, and Al did it all, and then we still didn't put any weed killer down. And weed killer is quite expensive, but actually when it works, sometimes you just got to take the hit, haven't you, with the cost, and get it done. So, yes. Right, I'm going to bring in my little glue bottle. If you've not got one of these, grab some of these from the website, because they are your intricate glue. Put a pin in the top. Someone's put one of the Becky's sewing pins in here, but it's good because it's nice and long. And then all you're going to do literally is drop some glue. Can't see this very well. Let's use this one so you can see it a bit better. So you're just going to drop some little dabs of glue wherever you want them to go. So I'm putting quite a few on in one go. So that's all you need to do. And then we're just going to add all of our leaves.
I did a bit in my garden last year because we've got a brick wall at the back of our garden, so we bought some sort of hardy plants there to start covering that up.
Okay.
So I want to dig more like beds around the side of our lawn so we can have more like nice flowers around the lawn. But like you say, it's just hard to keep on top of, isn't it?
It's really hard to keep on top of.
Especially like you say, we've got the same, like the patio at the back, like grass and weeds growing through. And ours, we've got like, because our garden's quite wet. Obviously we had the problem with the flooding and whatnot, but still,
that's right,
so we get a lot of algae on the patio.
Okay.
So again, I need to get some of that. You can get like the weed and algae killer, can't you? But never get round to doing it.
Never get round to doing it, I know.
Or like you say, you go to the garden centre, you go, oh, I'll just go and get me a nice weed killer spray, and then you're like, I don't think I'm going to buy that because it's very expensive.
That's exactly it, exactly.
I don't mind a green patio after all.
I'm like, how much?
Yeah. And I worry as well, like with having a dog and stuff, you know, I know they say like you should do it like last thing at night and keep the pets in, but I then still worry that like, you know, a bit might be left on the patio and then Molly might lick it or something. So that's my excuse for having a terrible garden. I'll blame it on the dog.
It is hard. I think you've got to really love gardening and I'm just not always there. I work weekends as well, so I mean this weekend I'm at home, but I've got some work to do. So I know I'm going to have to do that, where really I should be doing things like sorting the garden, and I think it's hard enough to keep on top of your daily chores, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
life's hard enough without having to worry about your garden.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, so I'm not going to build all of that up. That's just showing you how you do it. But look at that, just building that up. You have that little bit of glue on the back, and then just building all your leaves up. So once you've done that, that will then, I've got a dried one, will look like this. But what I've also done is I've just used my, this one is your earth brown blend. And if you use the darker one, you can still, even though we've got a, oh, I think this is darker than the one I used. Yes, it is. I used the mid-section one. So the middle one. You can still put some highlight onto your tree. So literally just highlight your branches and then just give that some texture. And that will dry lighter. It's just because that's going on wet. And then you just sort of go up and just do all of that to your tree.
One of the best things I did last year, and forgive me if you're watching, but one of our, I can't remember the name of the lady that sent me some sunflower seeds from America, and I grew some absolutely beautiful sunflowers. Oh, it was Carol, you're right, Nicola. One of the best things I've ever done in the garden. So beautiful, those flowers. Just put a smile on my face every morning. I looked out the kitchen window and saw the sunflowers. reaching up to the sky.
Some people are just a whiz, aren't they, in the garden?
Oh,
They're
absolutely,
really
yeah.
green-fingered, they know what they're doing.
Know where to plant certain plants. Because
Yes,
again, like
I
some
know.
plants thrive in moist areas, some plants like to be in the sunlight. I'm like you, I like the look of flowers. I go to the garden centre and I go, ooh, that's pretty, but then I don't really know much about the particular plant or flower.
No, not at all.
I like doing a hanging basket. That's one thing I do. I like arranging a hanging basket.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh no, I even cheat at that. I would just go and buy hanging baskets that are already pre-done.
Oh, would you?
I would love to arrange my own, but I really don't have the time.
Yeah.
So, which is a bit sad, really.
No, but
isn't it?
you are a busy person.
Yeah.
As we all are. Wish we all had more time. You know, had more money, I'd get myself a gardener.
And also, I like also doing things with Al because we don't spend a lot of time together at the best of times. So it's just nice to be able to. I mean, is that because I'm in a fairly new relationship? I mean, we've been together 4 years now.
Is it 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So sometimes I think, is it that? Because I get up, some of my friends like, oh, I can't think of anything worse than spending time with my other half. But yeah, so we love doing things together. So, but this weekend, because I have got some work to do, I'm quite lucky because Al's daughter's over this weekend and they like gaming, so they'll be on the spectrum this weekend.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Bit of retro gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. So apologies for that we haven't got the pad in because I have used the papers that were from the pad and I've just created the card blank and used part of this and part of another one. But actually there is a embossing folder the way you can find the brick wall and you could create your own just by putting in some of your grey ink pad. Now what I've also done, if you use some of your cutout, and again you can do this if you've used your embossing folder, but you can trim this to make it look like a path. So all you have to do is just follow the brickwork sort of down. So we're just going to do that and then you can come back in and start going the other way because it doesn't have to be as it, you know, any sort of section. You can literally do whatever you want.
Hey.
And then once you've cut all that out like that, so I've got one here where I've cut this. So then by cutting that bit out of the wall, it creates then a little pathway.
That's brilliant.
Looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love that.
And you can also do that with the, so let me just find that embossing folder.
More like steps, I think.
I hadn't realised that that the paper pad wasn't in the collection. So, but yes, so it makes them look like steps. But you could do the same thing with this. So all you would do is take your grey, I'm trying to think, well, like a twilight grey or one of the grey ink pads, do a letterpress technique, which will come out very similar to that. And then you could cut your tiles off as well. So it's just another little cool way of putting something down. And then I thought I hadn't done the fence, but actually the fence
I love that.
Look at that. That's really cool, doesn't it? So let's put this one fence on to start with.
I always feel like you need to somehow manipulate that fence to create like a gate. Like, because the little path leading up to like the gate, if you know what I mean.
Oh yes, you could do that, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we are just going to put a tree in front of the path, so it's almost like a homage to the tree.
Ah.
So all I'm going to do is place that right on the edge, like so.
Julie Palmer's just bought this and she used Leanne's discount. She says, what a bargain, Debbie.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even get over how much it is. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm going to put the tree here, I'm going to show that you don't need to overlap anything. So I'm going to trim this to this bit here. Because that way, when the tree goes in front, we won't be able to see it. So let's trim there. And then we can stick that one on. And because it's exactly the same shape, it will just overlap that one. I mean, such a bargain. If you've already got it and you know someone that hasn't, give them a call. I mean, £28. Well, in fact, £22.40.
It's £20.16 if you're platinum and you use the Leanne code.
Wow.
It is a bargain. And if you're in the US, it's $25.92, I think it is. So
that's amazing.
Bargain, whichever way you look at it.
I mean, you just wouldn't be able to get a collection. And I think it's more or less the collection, apart from the pad.
Apart from the paper pad, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
And like you say, the fact, you know, you've got the embossing folder in there, you've got almost like the wall detail that you would have got in the paper pad, and you know, I'm sure you'll have plenty of other paper pads at home that you'll be able to work in with this collection as well. It's just so super handy, isn't it? That's the thing.
It's really handy, especially when you're getting all those plants, you're getting the tree, you're getting the fences. There's something for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then we're just literally going to put, look at that, it looks so cool.
That's brilliant.
And then all we're going to do is put down some, I'm going to find the little tiny foam pads, they can go on there. So let's just put some foam pads on the back, like so. But yeah, we do lots of different paper pads that you can then put into place, which are going to look really beautiful. And depending on what colours you use, you can make your tree like autumnal, you can make it look spring, you might have some little flower dyes. In fact, what did we have yesterday that had the little...
Perennials in pots?
Can't remember what it was now. We had some little flowers.
Oh, that was in the butterflies, no.
Oh yes, it was in one of the collections.
Box.
It was the butterfly blooms. Yes, you could use those little flowers to go on the tree, couldn't you?
And also, you could also use what I just said as well, the perennials in pots from the Country Lane collection as well.
Yes.
You could have some little pots in front of the fence there as well, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now what I've got here, you've got some little butterflies on here as well. So you've got 3 little butterflies. Again, not just one, they're giving you lots. And then I've stamped one of the sentiments out. So I've just literally done a thanks for everything. And we're just going to pop this into place. So all I'm going to do is put some foam pads just on there. Oh, I can't get over seeing all the teams today. It was really lovely.
Yeah, it was great actually. It was really, really nice. And as I say, it's a funny one for me because I obviously see you guys in equal measure because obviously I'm always here.
All, yeah,
so I
regularly.
see you at least every sort of third week. But it's weird for you guys, isn't it? Because your paths probably never ever crossed, did they? Really?
Yeah. We speak a lot, and I always speak on the phone with Debbie. So yeah, but so it's weird to actually see each other, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's a shame it wasn't tomorrow. Then Sarah would be in as well. Leanne's about as well.
Oh yeah, it would have had
everybody.
The whole crew pretty much. Well, not everybody, but a good chunk of the crew.
Absolutely. And then I've just thought we'd brighten it up just with a few little butterflies.
So tomorrow you're on the first 2 shows, aren't you?
I am.
And then Sarah's in for Cartload.
She is.
And then Friday, it's
I'm
me
just in
and
the
Sarah,
middle show.
And then you're on the middle show with Leanne, aren't you?
Yes.
Because I'm on an 8 to 10 preview show with Sarah. And then Sarah enjoyed Friday Night Live so much last week.
I know.
So she's coming back in to do it again, which has worked out rather nicely for you, Debbie, hasn't it?
It's worked out amazing for me. I mean, I love doing Friday Night Live,
fun.
so I'm a little bit gutted, but at the same time, I've got a long journey home. So I actually get home at a reason. I mean, I still won't get home till probably about 8 o'clock at night.
But you'll beat a lot of the heavy traffic,
But it's better than getting home at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
So all I've got here, Ben, just to finish off, we've just got those little grass cuttings which we can dot about. And these just, you know, they might be just a small element, but they just give a little bit more interest. They just elevate your whole card. I just love these little grass pieces. Put your teeth in, Debs.
Lisa P says it would be funny to write a message in graffiti on that wall.
Oh yeah, you could.
You vandal, you.
Do you know what? It's what we should have, some graffiti stamps.
That would be quite a fun thing to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Debbie was ear.
Yes, we could all have that, couldn't we?
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I can see a few questions coming through. Thank you, everybody, so much for those. We'll save the majority of them for later on. In about an hour's time or so, just over an hour's time, we'll be doing Essentials Corner. And I can see a few people saying, sorry, this is a silly question. It is not a silly question. No silly questions. Honestly, even if it was the most basic of basic questions, if you don't know the answer to it, then we need to get it answered. So don't feel worried about asking a question that you think is silly. We need to answer it if you don't know the answer. So fire those questions in, as I say. Anything about the collections on the show, anything you're stuck with, anything you don't understand, anything you want to ask Debbie, get them in. And look at this for a brilliant, brilliant project. I love that, Debbie.
There we go. So pretty, isn't it? And just using some of those elements. And like I say, you can use that with your embossing folder if you don't have the paper pad.
I've been wanting this collection for ages, says Catherine Wood. Couldn't pass up such a bargain today.
Yeah.
Like, today's the day, right? As Debbie's been saying, the only thing that you're not getting from the original collection is the paper pad, and you're making a massive saving as well. Use the code Leanne10. Just, I'll keep reiterating, this is the last live show to use that. It will be switched off. Love this idea, Debbie. And Carol Byrne says, hello, Ben, that was me. Yeah, with the sunflower seeds. Thank you. I must post the pictures. So I took some lovely pictures. I'm not even joking you. The sunflowers probably, I grew about, I think there was 4 in the end, and the biggest one was about yay high. Like, you can't even see it. It must have been about like 8 foot tall. And I think obviously because the weather was warmer, I planted them quite late, but they were still growing up until like middle of November. It was really weird to see the sunflowers there. And then all of a sudden one weekend they just went.
I remember you getting the seeds. I didn't realise that you planted them.
I was so chuffed with myself because I got them, and I'm usually a bit rubbish at stuff like that, but I did everything it said on the packet, you know, like putting them in little pots and like, you know, growing them on. And then when I got the little, the seedlings started to sprout, planted them in a nice area in the garden, knowing where the sun would be, and they grew absolutely massive. The most happy flowers, I think you'll agree, sunflowers. And
yes.
Honestly, every morning I just looked out and saw them growing and growing and growing. I love them. She says, if you want a natural weed killer, this might be good for me and Debbie.
Oh, okay.
A gallon of white vinegar.
Right.
That's a lot of vinegar. 1 cup of salt and a tablespoon of washing up liquid mixed well, then spray.
Right, hang on, I'm just going to get a pen. Right, tell me again. A gallon?
A gallon of white vinegar.
White vin, yeah.
1 cup of salt.
1 cup of salt.
And a tablespoon of washing up liquid mixed well.
Tablespoon of what?
Washing up liquid.
Washing up liquid.
Apparently. Then spray.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah. And we'll report back. Thank you, Carol.
Mind you, a gallon of vinegar, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
That is a lot.
Can we buy a gallon of vinegar? The fish and chip shop might be able to sell.
That's 4.5 litres, isn't it? 4.5 litres in a gallon.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a lot of... Anyway, yeah, maybe. Yeah, might have to
it
go to
might be cheaper for us to go and buy some weed killer.
Might have to go to like...
But thank you for the idea.
Yeah, might have to go to Booker's or somewhere, like a wholesale place to get that. I don't know. You could do what Hillary does. She goes full Arnie on the weeds. She says, I could just imagine it. I have a burner thing for weeds.
But she's got this big burner thing to put on her shoulder, and she goes, yeah.
That's one way to get rid of them.
Oh, okay, just burn them.
Well, sounds like...
But it doesn't get rid of the root, does it? So that's the trouble. When you pull a weed up, because they're quite tough, you don't always get the root, so the root would just spring back, won't it?
Yeah, and you might end up... I'd probably end up setting fire to something I didn't want to set fire to. The weeds have all gone, but now I've got no house.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Neighbour, your fence has just gone up in smoke.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That little rascal, I've just seen him running down the road.
I mean, it's been really hot today. I think the sun must have like burnt the fence to ashes.
Where have all your neighbours' roses gone?
Global warming, eh? I love gardening, says Mary Pat, but our weather has changed so much, making it difficult to even do now. And hi to, I mean, this was probably the answer I think we all need. Crafty Stacey Lou says, we have a gardener. That's probably the way forward, isn't it?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
If you want this collection, before we have a little break, remember you're getting all of it basically without the paper pad. So it's all the collection. 2 items that you pay for, and then everything else is free. So your gardening tools is just that. So all of the tools you would expect to find in the garden in little mini form. I think it's so cute that you can have a lot of fun with these. You know, the kind of sets I think that will set little minds racing as well. Get the kids crafting along with you here. But all of those different tools you'd expect to find in your gardening shed. Then you've got the set here that Debbie was using. So if you want to recreate her card, that is the one that you will be picking out. Then you've got all of your beautiful house plants there. So all the different pots, the different foliage. You've got your sort of little macrame hanger there as well. Then I think this is such a cool set to have, the planting station. So you've got all the elements there to build like a little trestle table or build the shelf. And as I say, there's other collections that will certainly work quite nicely with that. Things like the kitchen collection, one of the Halloween collections where you had all the sort of little mini dies with as well. You could use and pop on the shelf, make a little spooky shelf.
That one would also be good
potions.
for the Modern Man collection with the toolkit as well.
Yeah.
Could use that as a tool bench.
Yes, absolutely. It's just a really handy handy one to have. There's the garden tree. So again, if you want to recreate Debbie's project, you'll be using that. I think this is super cute as well with the little watering can. It's got a little heart shape on it. Oh, there it is, that one there.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Shape. Really super cute. Then you've got all your stamps in there with lots of different sentiments for all sorts of different occasions. Again, there's some really good ones in there as well, some funny ones. Welcome to my garden. Compost happens, which of course is brilliant. Gardeners know all the best dirt. Flowers bloom in the footsteps of friends. Oh, garden gangster. That's pretty cool, isn't it? My garden is my happy place. May all your weeds be wildflowers. What does that one say? Life's a garden, dig in. And then the final piece to the puzzle is your garden wall embossing folder. Can you believe, chums, that that is 74 pretty much pounds worth of product, $92 worth, and you are only paying tonight £22.40 or $28.80 if you're platinum, but you're not, because you're using your Leanne 10 code, so you're getting another 10% off that price on the screen. And you're going to get your free gift, talking to sunflowers. That stamp and die set from the sunflower collection is yours as well, and you're going to get double points, and if you add more into your basket to get up to that 50, you're going to get your free shipping. I mean, what is not to love about today? Please take advantage of all these fantastic deals. Please keep getting those questions in as well. Let's make it. We've tried to prove today that when Debbie and I get together, we get all the questions. So it's going to be embarrassing if we get to Essentials Corner later on and we're like... So please fire in those questions. We're looking forward to that in around about an hour's time. But before that, more inspiration, more great deals. But before all of that, I hear that we have a message from... Oh, Sarah.
I'm back. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. We have got a massive cartload tomorrow with basically all of the Christmas stuff that's left in the house, okay? Now, you know I've said this several times. Buying out of season is when you get the best deals, right? So, if you're like my mother-in-law who buys a Christmas wrapping paper in the January sales every year, all of the core stuff that you are going to be looking for come June, July time when you start your Christmas projects, we've got them on cartload. It is epic. Honestly, the sales, the discounts are phenomenal. Plus, me and Betty boy, we're going to be having a right laugh. I've missed you this last couple of days. I am back with a bang back end of the week. So I will see you for cartload. It is going to be the chart. Trust me, of all the shows, you do not want to miss this one. We'll see you then.
Day to day, like on a normal day when I'm working from home, get up, breakfast, quick phone call with my daughter, and then I'm up in the craft room and I spend all my time in the craft room. If it's spending the day with the grandkids, that's it. That's my best part of the day, just spending time with family and those gorgeous little grandkids of mine. The best part of the day when I'm at work is when I go on air, because I absolutely love it. Both. I prefer a shower in the morning. I feel fresher. I feel that I can tackle my day. However, depending on how that day's been, I also would have a double shower, so I'd have one in the morning and one at night too. Absolutely, 100% coffee. Will always be coffee, and flavoured coffee is my favourite at the moment. Dare I say, it's a full English breakfast, the full works, the beans, the tomatoes, the bacon, the sausage, and everything else that goes with a traditional English breakfast. Craft along. Every day of the week. I absolutely love going through the stages from the start of a project to the end of a project. So craft along is definitely my favourite choice. I can't leave without my lipstick. It's a given thing. I once on me, and Leanne helped me out that day. Kick off my shoes, sit down for a couple of minutes, gather my thoughts, and then grab my tea.
I love Crafters TV, not for their amazing products, but for other reasons. Firstly would be the community. Crafters TV brings everyone together from different corners of the world. It's a place where we can all share our love for Crafters Companion, ideas and get inspiration from each other. Learning inspiration comes from the demonstrators. It doesn't matter if you're experienced or new, the demonstrators will always explain and help so we can get the best from the Crafters Companion's amazing products. But most important reason is the personal connection with the presenters and the demonstrators. For me, they have become my friends, creating a personal connection and making you feel part of a crafting family. And for me, this is the most meaningful. I wouldn't be the crafter I am today without Crafters TV, so thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Appreciating all of your craftimonials. I posted another thing on my Facebook page today where you can leave your videos. I see a few people chatting going, oh, I want to do one, but I don't know if mine will be very good. It will be. Whatever you can do is fine. We're not asking you to, like, you know, produce a Steven Spielberg blockbuster. Just say a few words. It'll be absolutely fine. And if you can put a pet in as well, I mean, even better. Make sure it's your own pet. Don't go and nick somebody else's, you know. Or Nicola says, or do. You do you. Amanda Hubbard says, that was a really pretty card, Debbie. Sarah Muir says, I bought a gallon of vinegar last year from that site that starts with an A. It was industrial strength. My path looks amazing, but the neighbours complained of the vinegar smell until it evaporated.
Oh dear.
Amanda says, Ben, I feel ashamed. I watched Debbie creating her card and thought, I'd love that. When I got onto the website, I recognised the front covers. I have the garden selection and I forgot. It happens though, doesn't it? Stuff like that happens. And Ricky is in saying, hello from a frigid Michigan. I love this collection. I have this and I love it. Keep those questions coming in, please. We're about under an hour away now from Essentials Corner. You know the drill. Anything you want to ask, craft related, Debbie related, Ben related, Crafters TV related. Would I have to ask the question to myself, Nicola? No, if I got a question to me, I would show Debbie and then she could interview me. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get any questions though, so it's fine. What? Get the price on the screen.
Wow.
Corner Edgeables 6-piece selezione, £18.40 or $24.80.
What?
These, I know. These dies are incredible. These are some of the best, like, edgeable designs that we've ever done because it's got the, yes, it's got the lady in the dress.
Yes.
And the peacock.
Yes.
That's not going to get old, that. It's not. How are we doing? Right, wait, if you haven't seen these, you are about to have your cheesy socks from yesterday knocked off. Because this is insane. And by the way, you can get another £1.84 off that. I'm not doing the maths now, it's too late in the day. I am £16.56. Or you can get another £2.48 off that, which is just bonkers value for money. Look at these. I mean, how stunning is that going to look? Edgeable slash, it's like a dybrid again, this one, isn't it?
A hybrid, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dybrid, love that. Edgeable and create a card.
Plenty of opportunities there for colouring, paper piecing. Oh man, I can't believe look at the peacock here. You could illusion film maybe potentially. Do you think would look quite nice on the tail?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And again, I marvel at when I see like designs like this. I just marvel and think like, how can we get so much detail into a piece of metal that's going to allow you to achieve something as glorious as this? And you've also got the beautiful tree in here as well, which is called Into the Woods. Then you've got another beautiful bouquet. This one is called Delightful Peonies. There's all sorts of fantastic dies in here. This next one is a absolute showstopper, I think, Debbie. That one, which is called Off to the Ball. Yeah,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
Stunning, that, isn't it?
It's really stunning. There's so much you can do with these dies. I cannot believe that they are at this price. They are stunning. Let me show you some samples of them.
I've got one more.
Oh, you got one more? Oh.
Fairy Tale Rose is the 6 that you're going to get. all for that price. So they're about £3 a pop, aren't they? Just also to say, we have one other which we don't have enough stock of to put it in the bundle. So if we put it in the bundle would basically sell out very, very quickly. So there's one more which is called Entangled Butterflies, which is available as an, oh, I mean the price is ridiculous. It's available as an individual, £2.39 or $3.10 if you're a platinum member. Use your code there as well. You get another 23 pence, another 31 cents off that price. So grab that one. Very limited stock on that. Yes, Debbie, let's have a look at some cards with you.
Yeah, they're stunning, absolutely. Whatever side that you put them onto a card. So this is an elongated card. So if you like your DL cards, looks amazing down the edge of there. I mean, it's just stunning, absolutely stunning. Paper piece back over, really snippability on these is really cool. The tree is lovely. I was thinking you could cut the tree in 2 halves and put them, so do it backwards and put that other tree that we just did in the last demo in the middle, so you could sort of have it almost like a forest, but that would make a nice arch if you cut that.
Yes.
So you'd have like the mirror image, which would look really pretty. It's lovely, the peacock, absolutely gorgeous. We've got the roses, that special day. I mean, that could be for a prom, which would be lovely. The bride, the bridesmaids. Look at that one, so lovely.
The peacock's my favourite, I think.
Yeah.
I know Debbie loves the lady in the dress, but that, I think, is so
It's just
cute.
beautiful. Look at
that's
that
clever.
one. So I was going to make a card like this, and I've realised I've used a die that's not in the collection anymore. I don't know why I used that one, but I have. But it doesn't matter because I can still make my card using one of the others. So let me just grab, let's do... I'm going to use the Delightful Peonies, so because it's still a flower. I'll show you my one afterwards. It's just that I thought the daisies was in it, and the daisies has gone. It's been and gone. So let's grab our cardstock. We're going to just take our die. Now, I've created this at 6.5, I believe. Yes, 6.5 by 6.5. So I've done this so I can cut my die twice. So we're going to use one die on this side of our card, and then we're going to flip it round and use it on the opposite side of the card. Now, because we are using a piece of card that I don't want to get sort of crimpled, I was telling you about this yesterday, Ben, by adding in a metal shim and taking out your magnetic, what this does is it stops your card from being warped. And I'm going to do this. It takes a little bit longer, but we have a little bit more time. So I want to do it this way because I feel like it will stop my card from warping and make a better topper for my card. So what we're going to do to start off with is I'm literally going to just pop that on the side there, and I am going to hold that down. So let me find my low tack tape. So we're just going to put a little bit of tape onto the side there and then send that through. And because it's at the top of my plates, and I am just taking out a shim because I know that won't cut all the way through. So I'm going to let that cut through, and then I'm going to stop it and reverse it when I know it's done. So there, then we're going to press the reverse button on the Gemini and send that back through. Have we got any Geminis in stock?
Just the MIDI and the Mini.
So we haven't got many machines. Because I'm thinking if anyone does need a die cutting machine, 10% off.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can still get that on the MIDI. And I still think we have that deal where you get the £80, $100 goodie bag for free with it as well. We did have a few of those left, but we'll check to see if that's still in stock.
Now this one, I didn't expect it to, has cut quite well through, but I am still going to add back in my shim and just send that through, and that's going to then cut perfectly. So what it's done, by taking out one of our biggest shims and putting in my metal plate, it's allowed me to take a little bit of pressure off, and it's allowed me to put that through without warping my cardstock. So let's take that one out. And then, so can you see my card is still flat, but that would have cut out absolutely beautifully. So just cut in that one down like so. So we've got that beautiful die cut into there.
Wowee.
And then we're going to do it again, but I've got a completely flat card here. So we're going to turn that round, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side.
Whilst you're cutting, we can say hello to Brenda, who says, I got these a while back and I have used the tree a few times. Mr. Simon Isles is watching, saying, hey, Mr. Moseby, looking good. Hello.
So who?
Simon.
Oh, Simon.
Yeah. You probably know him for, I don't know. Have you ever worked? Yeah, you probably have. Simon? Isles? No?
The name rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brenda says, I love all the dies from CC. And Linda Armstead says, I bought the butterfly and the corner edgeables selection this morning. So there you go.
Well, you've got a bargain, that's for sure.
You have.
Absolute bargain. So I'm just going to pop my plate back underneath, like so. Take out that magnetic shim, and then we're just going to run those through again. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's really worth doing when you've got a die that's really intricate and die cutting into a piece of card that you don't want to warp, because I actually want that to be my main focus. That's going to be my whole topper for my card. So once that comes out, we can then run that through one more time. But I will show you the back of that because I'm quite impressed how much that has cut out. So you can see it's actually cut out all that detail. But when I push it through, can you see it's going to take my pokey tool to poke it out. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to run it through one more time, but I'm going to take off the tape and then we're going to just run that through with our normal platform. So pop back in our magnetic, and then we're going to run that back through our machine. And that will be our last cut. Then I'm going to bring 2 pens in, Ben. So I've got my gold yellow blend and my dull green blend. Now I'm using my alcohol markers. We've been concentrating a lot today on our watercolour markers, but because I'd already done this in linen cardstock, I didn't want to use my watercolours on my linen cardstock because it works better on watercolour card. So let's take that one out. So we're just going to gently ease that out, and that's going to cut like a dream. So we've got our double one, just going to knock that down there. That takes all my little pieces out, clears that no problem whatsoever. And then we're ready to start. So what I am going to do is take my craft knife, because what we've got here is a connection between the two. So I like to just use my craft knife. You could use your scissors. So I'm going to come round here. I'm just making sure that my craft knife is, and I'm literally doing a bit of a swerve because I don't want it to be, just going to make sure that's disconnected. I don't want it to be a straight line because this has got a really lovely curve coming round. So that's took that one out, and we're going to do exactly the same with this one. So just making sure that I have that one. I don't think my knife is very, there we go. There. So that's taken that one out and there. So that gives me my matten layer there. So it creates this whole beautiful topper for the front of your card. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to bring in, and in fact I'm going to bring in a piece of card that's a different colour, so then you'll be able to see exactly what we're colouring.
Yeah.
And with those 2 pens, I'm going to start with my mid colour on our gold yellow blend. And we're just going to go round our flowers. So we're literally going to follow that line round. So just a case of following that flower. It doesn't matter if you do too much. Doesn't matter if it's just a thin line. It's really, don't be precious. You're just going to go round covering that yellow. And what that's going to do, it's going to then enhance the shape of your flower and give it some real depth on the card. And I'm only doing the flower because then we'll go around with the leaves and do the leaves afterwards. Have we got many questions yet?
Well, we haven't got as many as I would have hoped. But it was a slow burner last week, to be honest with you.
Come on, guys, we need your questions. Anything you want to ask. You must want to ask me and Ben something.
Yeah. I feel at this point last week, we only had like 3 or 4, and then we ended up having like 9. And then, of course, whilst we were sat down, another like 4 or 5 came in. So we'll wait and see. But get your question in, because I always try and ask them in the order that they come in, because, you know, fair's and all that. Great tip, says Little Bear. I won't have any more warped cards. And Mistress Dow says, I bought the Garden Collection and the metallic ink pads. Yes, I used the Leanne 10 code too. If you're not using the Leanne 10 code tonight, what are you even doing? That's what I'm asking. Because it's multi-use, no exclusions, so there's no excuses, basically, not to use that. Leanne 10, Leann 10 for 10% off. It was last week's code, which apparently we left on. Somebody didn't press the button or whatever they do.
Look how nice that is, look, colouring through.
That's
there,
really
so you
cute.
can actually colour them as a stencil. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So the great thing about this pen, it doesn't take long to colour them in, because we're literally just drawing round that line that's already there. So it's just a case of colouring it all. If you wanted to go in with a bit of depth with a different colour, but I don't think it needs it, just that real nice pop of sort of mustard colour really highlights that flower.
Colleen loves this card. And the colouring, enjoying that. It's been a very coloury day today, Debbie, hasn't it?
It certainly has. Yeah, I haven't coloured so much for ages. It's been lovely. I do love to have a good colouring sesh. I mean, I'd quite like to know what everyone's favourite crafts is. Do you like colouring? Do you like your ink pads? Do you like to watercolour, alcohol colour? That'd be quite good.
Can you do a die cut? Can you do a shadow cut with this, Debbie, in another colour, so like a drop shadow?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would look beautiful as well. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Right, so we've done our yellow, and then we're going to come in with our green. So I'm going to go in right again with our mid colour, and we're going to do exactly the same. So it's just a case of following that line down. And because we're going onto a piece of craft card, we can actually see where we're covering with our white. So you don't want to, if you colour onto white cardstock, it's really hard to see where you've been.
Yeah.
But by doing it onto a different colour, you actually can see that you're covering the white. And then we're going to put our stems in here. And then just add in.
If you don't get any questions, Debbie, I'm sure I can think of lots of questions to ask you. I'll just put you in the hot seat.
I don't mind that. We can have a crafty chat, can't we?
Yeah, Wednesday chin wag. I'm sure we'll get loads of questions in. Maybe I didn't get round to your question last week and you want to re-ask it, feel free.
Absolutely. So, because we've only just started putting Beautiful Beginnings back on, haven't we?
Yeah, we seem to...
So is that a new section we're doing now where we're having crafty chats?
Oh no, we always did it.
What, in Beautiful Beginnings?
Yeah. Have you never done an Essentials Corner before?
Yes, but I didn't realise that was in Beautiful Beginnings.
Yeah. Always a little feature. Were the first ones with Sheena, did you say, Nicola? So yeah, Sheena did a lot of the early ones. Oh yes, because of course it was always Sheena Wednesdays, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
So I think it sort of started more as like a, an Ask Sheena thing in Essentials Corner. Because that was what I still remember it now, one of the weeks where we'd sort of said like, oh, ask anything that you want. And then I think we chatted in the show. I don't know if you know this, but as well as being an absolute legend in the world of craft, Sheena is very up on all things headphones. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, headphones, yes. Gadgets. She's a bit of a gadget freak. Yeah, she loves her gadgets, headphones, anything like that.
So I didn't know, you see. So I'd started chatting to her off air about headphones for my running and stuff. So she was telling me all about these, like, bone conducting headphones or whatever they're called. And then we sort of was chatting about that on air. And then we got into Essentials Corner. And that night we had more questions about headphones than we actually did about craft.
That's funny.
So yes, what's your special... So if you were going on Mastermind, for example... Thanks, Crafty Bestie. Crafty Bestie's just bought me a coffee. She's my bestie. So yes, if you were going on Mastermind, specialist subject craft, right? But I don't know if you know this. If you were then to get through to the next round on Mastermind, you'd need another specialist subject because you can't do the same one twice. What would be your next thing?
I think mine would possibly be Emmerdale.
Emmerdale?
I love Emmerdale. I've been watching Emmerdale since I was a kid. I used to watch it with my nan, and because it used to be on in the daytime, so we used to have a daytime Emmerdale farm. So it always brought back memories. I've never stopped watching Emmerdale, and I still watch it to this day. And it's just been voted, or just before Christmas, Britain's #1 soap.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought it was always Corrie or EastEnders.
No, Emmerdale's won it quite a few times. Yeah, and they're back now at the top. So, yeah, they cover... I like soaps, but I can't watch them all because there's just too many of them and I just don't get the time. So, because I sort of had to be choosy, which I picked, Emmerdale was my childhood one. It's the one that reminds me of watching with my nan. Yeah. So I've watched it for a very long time, so I think I would probably know a lot about Emmerdale.
Do you get Emmerdale in the US? I wonder whether you get lots of our soaps over there, like Emmerdale, and I think Coronation Street and EastEnders is on in the United States, isn't it? I want to say that it is. I might be talking rubbish.
What would your special? Oh, yours, would it be Beatles songs?
No.
Only because you tried the world record. Or
yeah, but I think with that, because I was on the radio at the time, so I know a lot of songs, knew a lot of lyrics, and lyrics sticking in my head. But I think probably, I don't know what I'd do. I think something like, maybe like the Bond movies with Roger Moore in, I think I'd be pretty good on.
Oh, okay.
Like Craig, I think, like wrestling, I think I'd be very good on. Do I think I know as much as Craig with wrestling? I don't, probably not. He's very geeky on stuff, isn't he? Like he could, I would have to swat up on stuff, but like if you said to him, oh, where was WrestleMania 12 held or whatever, he'd probably be able to tell you the city and the stadium.
Oh, wow.
What else? Yeah, I don't know really.
It's quite hard to say what you would know a lot about. I do watch a lot of rubbish TV. I like things that just take you out of your everyday life, just to help you switch off.
Yes. Yeah, that's a really good question. There you go, one for you guys in the comments as well. Right? If you're on, do you have Mastermind in the US as well? I don't know. But basically, you need a specialist subject, right? So you're going to get 2 minutes on a specialist subject. Can't be craft because that's too easy. So specialist subject, and so you get 2 minutes on that, and then you get 2 minutes on general knowledge. That's how the show works. And basically, whoever's got the most points at the end of those 2 rounds wins. So what would your specialist subject be? What colour green are you using, says Michelle
This one
Moore.
is dull green. It's a dull green blend.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've used the mid-section of it, so. But there we go. Sorry, it took a bit longer because I thought I'd had a finished one, and I didn't have a finished one because it's a different one. So we're going to pop that one to the side, and then I'll bring in my card that I did. So I've still carried on. Now, I quite like white on white. So what I've done here is I've used my linen cardstock, so the white linen, and I do like white linen cardstock because it looks really nice and fresh, but it has this real crisp white about it. So, and then I've just got some of my yellow. It's not very often you use yellow cardstock, and I thought this really worked well just by having that border all the way around. But don't be afraid to put white onto white because it really looks lovely. And then we're just going to place this one on. Actually, oh no, I won't do that with the other one. So we're going to lay this one flat, but I'm actually going to put some foam tape onto my design. So just like so. There we go. And I'm actually thinking I need to stamp a sentiment.
Oh yeah.
So let's just pop that one like that. And then I want to, let's see the garden sentiments. Let's bring those in because I thought a garden sentiment would look quite nice on, no, garden centre.
I thought you said, let's see the garden
sentiment. But they might be a bit too big. I think we might be able to, would we be able to fit that one in? Small or bloom. Oh, that one, oh, no, might not fit. Will that fit there? Oh, we might just fit that one in. So I would never have attempted this before, Ben, but because we've got our stamping platform.
Yeah, oh, you can be precise.
Absolutely. I never, ever now feel frightened about stamping. So let's pop that onto there. And then I think we can just fit that onto that piece. Might just lose a little bit of the bloom, but I love the fact that we can get a little sentiment in there. So all I'm going to do is grab my darker ink pad.
Victoria says, my speciality will probably be useless random knowledge or music. Oh, and I've got your question for later on there, Victoria. We'll ask that and answer it. Sarah, my specialist subject would be photography. I've been taking pictures since I was in 9th grade in high school. That is a really long time. Lol,
wow, yeah, that is.
And Caroline Hanley, specialist subject, probably Doctor Who, from when it came back on air in 2005 to the current day. So what is classed as modern Doctor Who?
That would be my brother's.
Oh, got another one I would have.
Oh.
The A-Team, series 1 to 3. That would be a specialist subject of mine as well. Yeah.
I mean, I say a specialist subject. My memory is shot the older I've got, so I would probably find it quite difficult remembering things. I'm terrible.
And under pressure as well with the clock ticking.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm putting this so it's just a little bit heightened and gives a bit more depth. I'm just putting some foam tape onto here, so we can literally fill that gap like so. And then all I want to do is just find any little space, so like a little bit here, so we can just put a tiny bit where it's needed. So we'll have a little bit there and there. So just fill in that gap and then just one onto that bit. And we better just put one on the other side there. And that then will hold everything in place nice and securely, but give a little bit of depth.
Yeah. What would your specialist subject be, Nicola? She says she doesn't know anything about anything.
But I actually think Nicola would probably be that random person with the general knowledge. She'd just probably know things without knowing how she knows things.
Yeah. Oh, so your specialist subject would be random things?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No,
but I think you would be like that though, Nicola. You're a clever lady.
Jamie? Oh, current football.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie would be good on football.
Yeah, Jamie's very hot on his football.
I wonder what Crafty Bestie's specialist subject would be. Tracy.
Hot on the top.
What did you say, Debbie?
Hot on the tot.
Hot on the tot?
Yes, Tottenham.
Oh, hot on the tot.
Hot on the tot.
What, Tracy?
No, Jamie.
Oh, right, sorry, I'm getting really confused. Oh, so Tottenham, Tracy.
So we're literally, look how nice that looks on the
looks brilliant.
White card. And just, I know it takes a little bit of time to colour that in. And then the one I done was the daisy one, this was the daisy one. I just put a few gems on there. So that was my daisy one, but exactly the same. But there we go, look at that. And you wouldn't think of that as a way to do it when it's a edgeable, but it looks so nice when you can put it onto two sides like that and just create this beautiful topper for your card. And whatever colour you do your flowers, it can change the whole look of the card.
Beautiful, right? And the fact that you can get all 6 of those for that price is absolutely ridiculous. Let's remind you of all of the designs that you can get. So all of these are included within that bundle, which is crazy value for money. It works out, doesn't it really, about £3 a die when you consider that you're getting all 6. So from the beautiful florals to the lady in the dress, you've also got this beautiful bouquet, so that's your delightful peonies. I think, again, if you want to pick up these individually, then you will be able to. But I mean, you're not going to turn down this value, are you not? You are not going to turn down this value. Yeah, producer Nicola said, if you were turning this down, poof, right, poof. She has no words for you. Into the woods.
Don't do it.
Don't turn it down. You've got to buy it now. There's your elegant peacock, still my fave. And then you will also be receiving the Flora Bouquet 1840, 2480, free gift as well. If you do want the butterflies, so the entangled butterflies is a separate deal. We don't have enough of those to put in the bundle, so that is why that is a die on its own. It's £2.39 or £3.10. Usually and 10, you're getting another 23p off that. So £2.16 or 31 cents, isn't it, off that $3.10, so $2.89. It's just a steal, so please take advantage of that. Would park run not be one of your specialist subjects as well, Ben? Well, yeah, I mean, I do a lot of park running. Name every park run.
Alphabetically.
And by how difficult they are. Yeah, that might be quite tough. Yeah. I mean, I would know a fair bit, I think, but I don't know about especially subjects on Mastermind. Jeffrey says, I would do Garden and Doctor Who. Okay. Midsummer Murders. Which episode of Midsummer Murders was I, dead guy in photo frame? I was in it. you remember that? When was that? Years ago, 3 years ago?
I didn't know you did that. Did you used to do bit parts?
I used to do like, way back, I used to do like the extra parts, because you get like paid a bit of money and get some free grub and that. And then just
Liam does that now, doesn't he?
Yeah. And then out of the blue, it was probably, was I here, Nicola? Or was I think I might have been doing some freelance stuff here. But no, I just got contacted out of the blue saying, because they were filming in Buckinghamshire near where I live. They filmed a lot of the shows there and they just needed me for this part. And they didn't really tell me too much about it, tell me what I needed to bring. And it turned out that I was quite an integral part of the storyline, except I'd already been killed. And all they needed me for was for a picture. Yes. Yes. I was on Midsummer Murders, 22nd of March, 2021. So basically I was a dead guy, but all they had to do was take a photo of me with the guy who was in the show, and my photo was on the mantelpiece.
I think I can remember that now when you say it.
Yeah, starring role.
Nicola's found it.
Yeah. Oh,
She's watching it.
Nicola's watching it now. Maybe you can share the link on the Facebook page so everyone can see my brilliant starring role. I'll send it and maybe we can watch it in the show. It's me in a picture, basically. Also, Dawn says, my husband can tell you what every episode of The Twilight Zone is about just by watching the first minute of the show.
Wow.
It drives me nuts.
Some people are really clever like that, aren't they? Really just know everything. They've got that new programme back on our telly at the moment, haven't they? I haven't watched it, called You Bet.
Oh yeah, You Bet.
And people just do the most remarkable things and you're like, you don't believe they're going to do it, and they do.
There's like stupid things like they'll be able to identify a car from the sound of its horn or something.
Yeah. Well, there was one on, I only caught a clip of it because I wasn't watching it, but they asked all the audience what their names were and their date of birth, and he had to memorise everyone in the audience, which was about something like 100 and something people, and then they'd just tell them to stand up and tell their initials, and he knew their date of birth and their full name. Yeah.
That's like people who memorise decks of cards, isn't it? So they'll just have a look through a deck of cards and memorise it, and then they'll be able to tell you, they turn them over and tell you what card is what.
I can't even imagine having a photographic memory like that.
I can't fast forward. We're probably not allowed to show it. I better not. We could probably get in trouble. Oh wait, hang on. Look, if you just I can't fast forward it, but I'm on in a minute. This is, I think it's called The Sting of Death. Right. So this is So here I come in just a second. There I am at the back. And I think he chucks it on the floor in a minute and stamps on it or something. Look, there. There's me. There.
Have you got a moustache?
No.
Oh.
And he's just chatting, and then I'm sure he smashes me on
It's funny that your character's all in the programme, but you're actually a dead man.
I don't know why particularly they asked me to do it, but come on. Is it gonna... I'm sure he picks me up and throws me on the floor. Maybe he doesn't. There again. There. Look at me. Brilliant acting, Ben. That is, isn't it? Hey, I did not get paid decent money for that. No, I was there the whole day, and I think they paid me.
You look proper cheesy there.
I got a free lunch, and I think I got 60 quid. Yeah. Anyway, that's my starring role. Anyway, let's move on. What did you say? Oh, partial emboss is what we're going to do. On my tablet's having a bit of a moment now. Partial embossing folders. These have been very popular already today. We have people asking about these in the earlier show, so we got them out and showed them. The deal again is incredible here. 8 folders for £24 or $32. That's £3 an embossing folder, which is, again, in my mind, ridiculous value for money. And again, you don't pay that price because you'll get another £2.40 or $3.20 off the price on screen if you use the code Leanne10. What's so lovely about these, of course, is they give you a beautiful, stunning 3D emboss for all sorts of different occasions, and then give you the opportunity to be able to add to them, if you like, create more with these. And you've got celebrations as far as birthdays are concerned with the cupcake. You've got beautiful sort of everyday florals with the Swirling Florals embossing folder. You've got Christmas and sort of winter taken care of as well. There's your sparkling snowflakes. Again, this one's really super cute for a maybe more festive feel, your festive bauble. By the way, if you are looking for festive deals, don't forget me and Sarah tomorrow night on Cartload for a Christmas extravaganza. Celebrate. So you've got your champagne and your champagne glasses. Again, lovely sort of everyday one here with the beautiful butterfly. You've got the Christmas bells in there as well. If you want to jump in and grab all of these, you will get every single one for that amazing price. That last one is the holly with the beautiful candles in there as well. Double points on all of that. Sensational price once again, and made even better by the fact that you can use that code to get another 10% off. But this is the last live 45 minutes of using that code, so please make sure you shop and check out in this particular show if you can. Right, we are going to have a little look at these. Look at this card over here. That's stunning.
It's absolutely stunning, isn't it? Yeah, so even your black card with your metallic markers over the top will just look absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you one in a little while. We're just going to do a couple of different techniques, but just using black card with your gilding wax will look amazing. I love this card. You can't see it very well, but actually close up it is stunning. It's been embossed into white card. Look at that. It is so pretty, and you can't see it on there, but it's actually got a bit of a shimmer on it. It's just amazing. Just absolutely. Jamie's good. Now he's got his joystick back. You can see he's full of joy, full of joy full of joy on the joystick. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. This one here, so many different ways you can use them, even though, oh, I thought that was the wrong way around then. But even though they're one size embossing folders, you can just put them into so many different shapes and sizes of your card. Look at that one, coloured in, bit of gilding wax over the top, looks absolutely stunning. I mean, that is incredible, isn't it? Just absolutely lovely. So coloured in with your alcohol pens, and then just making different types of cards, maybe on the inside. Love that one, absolutely beautiful. And then one more where this one has been decorated on a box. And I love making boxes, so I think being able to decorate a box like that looks absolutely lovely. And you can see that everywhere that there's a blank space, a sentiment has been placed. So it means that that's why we've done those sort of partial embossed detail, so you can actually have room to put a sentiment if you choose. Right, start off first with the, I've put in some watercolour cardstock, and I thought I would bring our pens back in from earlier. If you missed out on our Aqua pens, please go back and have a look, because they are absolutely amazing, and I just can't believe we've still got them some in stock, because the price on them was incredible.
£32 for the 48.
Yeah, for all of them, it's just incredible. Now I've got a 2D embossing folder, sorry, a 3D embossing folder. I'm going to bring in my 2D, my Gemini Junior plates, and I also like to, oh no, don't need to do that either. Thinking of a 2D. All I need, I don't need one of my cutting plates, so we just need our plastic shim, our magnetic, then your card and your embossing folder on top, and then your just top plate on top of that. If you have any other die cutting machine, just refer to your user manual, or somewhere, I'm not sure if it's still there actually, but we did have a list of all machines and what their platforms would be, but just refer to your user manual, and I'm sure 3D embossing will be in there. So you get the most incredible, I mean that's just on white card, you get the most incredible texture on there and embossed detail. Even the deboss is amazing.
Almost like it's been sculpted, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
that's exactly what it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to use, I'm just going to grab some water, and let's just take some of these pens and colour them in. So you could use this straight to the actual embossing folder. I'm just going to paint it from here. So we're going to put some down on our mat and just give a little bit of painting. I'm not going to do it all tonight because I know time is running down, and also we want to...
We've got loads of questions now as well, Rachel says.
Oh, amazing. That's good. So we're just going to put all these sort of different shades of reds and oranges because we can, and they're in this pack. Another one there. There we go. And then I think I might just put another yellow in there. So let's put a nice, oh, chucked it at myself. A nice sunflower yellow there. Right, and then all we're going to do with that one, we're going to take our brush. So let me just grab, I've got a smaller brush here because we've got smaller detail. And then we're just going to use our colours to paint onto. So it's just pick up our first colour, and then we can just paint directly onto our folder. Now, because it's an embossed detail, it's quite easy to follow the lines. I would say sometimes a little bit more easier than a stamp, because it's just a really nice way to come round. Now, if you don't want to spend too much time on it, you don't have to. So I'm going to be quite messy, Ben, with mine.
Okay.
And I'm just going to come down and paint over the top. So don't worry about, now you can take your time, but because I don't have the time,
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring it down and make it a little bit more messy,
Okay.
like so.
Barbara R says, I had a co-worker that was a dead body for a Law and Order episode.
Ooh.
I hear all the cool cats have done the dead person thing on TV shows.
All the cool cats.
I see you, Ben, says Colleen. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing with us. And she also says, I love all of these samples of cards. Beautiful. I think it's lovely that we show so many, because as much as it's great to see our amazing experts demonstrate with these, I do think you all love seeing the cards and get inspired by what our design team make as well. So many different people with different takes, isn't it? That's the great thing, which gives everybody else loads of different ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what crafting's all about, isn't it? It should be about not what just one person can make, but about what everyone can sort of create.
Yeah, and it's always brilliant to hear, you know, because obviously everyone looks to, you know, you and Debbie and Craig to come up with the ideas, but it's true enough to say that, you know, you guys inspire each other, and you guys will go on our I'm a Crafter's Companion page and see things that our viewers have done, and then get inspired by our viewers as well, won't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I always, and we're quite good sharers. We do share what we have found works with things. So if ever we get something and think, so we're putting our group, we're in a group, aren't we? And we're putting there what we found with something or what works, and just to get some extra additional inspiration.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I absolutely love that.
And you're always welcome. And I know it sounds like a silly thing to say, but if you are fairly new, you know, the whole point of these demonstrations is then for you to be able to go home and try them for yourselves, do them. You know, as Debbie's doing this now, you can actually take this project home, re-watch it, and then you do it, because you guys again love it, don't you? When you see, you know, our viewers then posting what you've done, their take of what you've done on the Facebook pages as well.
I love that. Yeah, I absolutely love that. I think it's just a really, really nice way of being able to see other people's makes. And actually, there's nothing nicer, is there, than someone sort of wanting to do what you've shown them.
Well, yeah.
You know, because that inspiration is just a lovely thing to do. Just going to add some different colours. And like I say, I'm not being too careful on here. You can if you want to. And I'm going to show you how you can make it look super good. And then, have I got a green in here? Yes, I have. Actually, I've got a meadow green. Let's just put a little bit of green, and we'll leave it at that. I'm just going to do a small piece just to show you. Let's just mix that round and add some greenery. Like so.
Been a very relaxing day today.
Green. It's been a lovely, relaxing day, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I feel like, do you know what, Nicola, that is a good point.
Just giving you a nice rest.
Rest ahead
rest
of
and relaxation.
Tomorrow night and then Friday, which you know is going to be, what does Sarah say? Off the chart, thebomb.com.
Thebomb.com.
Have you
nice to see her. I haven't seen her for ages.
Have you not seen her?
No, because I've been away. It's my first
have
week, isn't it, that I've been back? Yeah, first week back. Right, that's all we're going to do there. So even though I think it actually looks quite artistic, quite pretty, so it does look lovely, but we can make that look better. So all I'm going to do is give a little spritz. Don't waste this. Don't know. Oh, I have got a bit of card here. Literally pick that up with your cardstock. So literally just go in there, pick that up, and that way you can make a background. So pick all your paint up, don't waste that. And then I'm just going to take that away. And then we're going to bring in some gilding wax, because gilding wax is one of those items that, although it's good for embossing, it's really forgiving. So you can literally, where you've gone, like maybe gone over the edges and not looked, you don't want loads, so make sure when you're putting it on, take it back off. And then just with a really light touch, we're just going to go over the edges. So it's still going to show that colour through, but what it's now going to do, it's going to concentrate on that embossed detail, and it's going to take your eye away from. So if I show you this side first, so you can see, I'll put a little tiny bit more on there. So just on here. What that's now done, it's made this side more even. Can you see it's almost hidden all of the, where this one still looks a little bit messy. In fact, I'll turn it round so you can see it a little bit better. So on this side now, we've almost neatened up all those edges.
Yeah.
You can't see how sort of scruffy it almost looks to the opposite side. So that's all you're going to do. You're just going to take your gilding wax, pop that onto place.
Which gold is that? I know someone's going to ask. Is that the
I think this is
Empire?
no, I think this is a king gold.
King.
I can't actually see because it's all
It's hard to see on those
off.
pots, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think it is the king gold. I think it's an Empire gold.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do with your gilding wax, once you've put it on, let's just take that off from my finger, you're going to just take a piece of kitchen towel or a cloth. Make sure it's a good piece of kitchen towel, because otherwise you will get a lot of fluff come off from it. And then you get this, so I'll show it to the front so you can see it a little bit better. But you have the most amazing shine on there.
Oh, wow, you can see it from afar already.
And now, just by being not very careful, it looks amazing, doesn't it? And doesn't take too long to do. And no one would think that you've gone over the edges, but it's just one way that you can make that absolutely beautiful. And then just before we finish up, I'm going to still use the gilding wax, but actually I am, sorry, going out of shot. I'm going to bring in another one. So let's bring in this one is your antique gold.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it onto black cardstock. So if you're ever stuck for an idea of how to do anything with your embossing folder, this is my go-to that I would always tell people to do, because it's the one that you don't have to do a lot to. You're embossing a piece of black card and you're going to apply your gilding waxes too. And it really doesn't take long at all to do and gives you the most remarkable effects. So you can see that embossing is absolutely stunning, but let's start to build up all of our embossing, and it really does show beautifully onto your black cardstock.
Yeah, that is a really classy effect, isn't it?
It's
Stunning.
amazing, and it's really, for me, I think this is one of the simplest techniques there is in craft history. I don't think there is anything more simple, more effective, and more stunning than actually applying your waxes to a piece of black card, because that's all we're doing. And you get this, the elevation, it looks like you've gilded it yourself.
It looks like it's taken a lot more time than it's taken.
Yeah, and I
Doesn't
think what's that? Took me a minute to
Probably not
emboss,
even
to
that.
put that through, not even that. And you're done, and all you need to do, like I said before, take your tissue and just give that a buff. And then what happens by buffing it, you absolutely want to buff it, because what will happen, it seals it. That will then be non-transferable, because you don't want it coming off in people's hands, you don't want it to transfer onto anybody's clothing, because once gilding wax is there, you can't take it off, which is why you have to do it and be very gentle on your touch. But look at that. I mean, that is absolutely stunning. And if I turn that round, just so you can see on the front there, look at that. I mean,
yeah, amazing.
If that doesn't make you want to buy those folders, that is beautiful. Sentiment then on top, put it onto a card blank, your Christmas card's done.
The gilding wax, Debbie, you'd have to look on the website. I want to say we've got all the golds, but not the silver, or we've got the silver, but a Renaissance, Empire, and antique. Not in a bundle. How much are they, Nicola, again? I lose track. Are they £12.99? The silver is £9.74. The golds are $12.99.
Oh, and you get 10% off, Leanne.
Yeah,
10.
and $12.99 before your platinum discount, so it's $12.99, so it's like 11-ish pounds. Then take off. You're probably, if you use your discount and your platinum, you're probably going to get them for about 10 quid, something like that. And they do last a long time as well. $10.39 we think is the price. They will last a long, long time for you as well. Debbie, enjoying, thank you for working that out, Jamie. Debbie, enjoying watching your colouring and painting. I love all that you have done on all of today's shows. I love this claim to fame. Karen Hughes says, my brother and I are on a poster for the NHS. Well, there you go. I think that trumps my Midsummer Murders. Let's see the picture, Nicola says. When you share the sample, says Brenda Stevens, I really do feel that I need to buy the dyes as a real inspiration. And Vanessa says, this is good to know on Gilding Wax that it needs to be buffed. We have loads of questions coming through, which warms the cockles of my heart. 3D embossing folders are flying out the door. Also proving popular today, the Duet ColourBloom Inkpads. These are those ink pads that you guys have absolutely taken to your heart from the Duet range. But these ones are those reactive hybrid water-based ink pads that are one pad, but then two colours. Basically, you're going to lay down your first colour, or lay down the ink pad, as it were, and then once you're adding your water to it, it's then going to draw out that second colour. Yes, watch that colour bloom. Hence the name. They all come again in that new sort of, well, it's not new now, is it really? This is sort of the standard shape now, but that teardrop design, so nice and easy for you to take straight into your cardstock. If you need to be quite precise, you've got that teardrop end there as well. We've done plenty of shows with these, so you can pick up loads of inspiration, loads of ideas on how to use them. I think the thing to say with these, though, it's all about drying in between the different layers of using them, isn't it? And making sure that you do that before you start activating with the water to pull out that second colour. And these are all of the colours that you're going to be able to get. There's 12 in total, as I say, all come in that teardrop design. So you've got your beautiful pomegranate, you've got your pink grapefruit, love the pumpkin patch, summer bouquet, that beautiful willow river, the shoal. I mean, some of these I think are going to work so perfectly. Things like the Enchanted Ocean collection come into mind here, Cosmic collection potentially, with things like the hellebore. You've got that beautiful anemone, the nebula with the beautiful pinks coming through, dusk orchid, the stunning stargazer, hellebore, and then the rose cloud as well. This is a great opportunity for you to be able to pick these up if you again have seen them and like them and think, shall I, shan't I? £44 or $56 is the price on this, but you will get that £4.40 off if you use the 10% discount, $5.60 off if you use that 10% discount, Leanne 10. So one of the best opportunities to get this kit. It should be $95.88 or $119.40, so the price is already amazing before you even factor in that discount. Double points, and of course you will get your free gift included there as well. Also, the round blending tool is here. If you want to add that into your cart as well, this is tonight's hero tool. £4. It's £4. It's £4. It also comes with your refills as well. Should be $7.98 or $9.90, but you get your tool with the pad and then one refill in there, and you're going to get 10 of those refill pads to go with as well. And I think it's horses for courses here. We obviously offer you lots of different ways to be able to apply your inks. I know we've got the square blending tool, which is a rectangle, but the round, that is not the hero tool. This is the hero tool, and the reason it is the hero tool because it knows what it is. It knows it's round, doesn't pretend to be something it's not. So you can snap that up. 24-hour deal on the hero tool, of course, so snap that up in the show. And of course, you're not paying £4 or $4 if you're platinum, are you? No, you're paying $3.60 because you're using that code. Thank you for all the comments coming through. He says, trying to get the comments up. Oh, I love using Gilding Wax, says Mary Beth Doyle. So fast and elegant looking. Love the black card. And Vanessa says, yes, this is good to know on Gilding Wax that it does need to be buffed. We are going to come back in Essentials Corner in just a few moments' time. I am told that we have plenty of questions coming in, so thank you if you have sent a question. We will endeavour to answer as many as we can. It's not too late for you, though. If you do want to add another question to that list, you can either send it in now, and lovely Rachel will add it to the Google Doc that we already have, or indeed once we kind of get started with it in just a few moments and you feel like you want to throw a question in, you can do so, and we will get through as many as we can. We're going to have a short break. Whilst we do that, get your carts and your baskets checked out. Use the Leanne 10 code. It's your last live show to be able to do that. Pick up your double points, get your free gift. And as we mentioned a little bit earlier on, is Sarah back in tomorrow for Cartload. And in case you want to know what it's all about, here she is.
Guess what? I'm back. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. We have got a massive cartload tomorrow with basically all of the Christmas stuff that's left in the warehouse, okay? Now, you know I've said this several times, buying out of season is when you get the best deals, right? So, if you're like my mother-in-law who buys her Christmas wrapping paper in the January sales every year, all of the core stuff that you are going to be looking for come June, July time when you start your Christmas projects, we've got them on cartload. It is epic. Honestly, the sales, the discounts are phenomenal. Plus, me and Betty boy, we're going to be having a right laugh. I've missed you this last couple of days. I am back with a bang back end of the week, so I will see you for cartload. It is going to be off the chart. Trust me, of all the shows, you do not want to miss this one. We'll see you then.
When I'm working, it's quite big. I have to get really to come into work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed. Best part of my day is when we come in and I get to see everybody. I really enjoy being up here. It's really nice to see all my friends, and this is my happy place. I do like to see everyone, and also, of course, if Christina's in, get breakfast from Christina before I start the day. Early, without a doubt, never a night owl. I'm in bed at 9:30. Bath at night, shower in the morning. Tea, the colour of heme. Both. I like pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. Craft along, there's always a softer side to craft along. My phone, my life is my phone, and yeah, the phone and the dog, unless I'm coming up here and I can't bring the dog in. My favourite lunch isn't lunch, my favourite lunch is afternoon tea. That's what I'd like, lots of selection of sandwiches, some scones, or scones, some cream and some little cakes, but I couldn't have it every day because I'd be the size of a house. Oh, that changes to the moment. My favourite song at the moment is Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Or have a cup of tea and go and have a bath.
Everybody, this is Lynn Bledsoe. You asked me why I like or I love Crafter's Companion. Well, it's because I'm not a very good crafter, and Crafter's Companion makes me look better. It makes me look like a better crafter than I am, because I'm not good at design. So I have the layout collection that helps me with design. I don't like to do the same thing over and over. So I have a template library that gives me lots of new ideas and card bases and things to try. I never know what to put on the inside of the card. So I have the compendiums that have all the sayings for cards, and I never know what color combinations to put together and what goes with what, and so all their collections make it easy for me to know what to do. So is why I love Crafter's Companion, because they make me look like a better crafter, and give me ways to do things that I haven't tried before. Thanks. Bye.
Hello and welcome to Essentials Corner. Oh, we should really get a sting for this, shouldn't we? Where I go, hello, welcome to Essentials Corner, and then it goes, do, 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 Essentials Corner, like that.
Just needs to speak to Liam.
Yeah. That'd be fun though, wouldn't it?
It would be fun.
Welcome to Essentials Corner, where we sit down for 20 minutes and answer all of your crafty questions. Do keep checking out your baskets here. Don't be lulled into a false sense of security going, oh, I'll just sit and relax with Ben and Debbie now and I won't check out my basket. Make sure you do and use the code, because it's your last live show to use that code before it gets taken off. So make sure you do. Thank you for all the questions. We have 14 to get through in the next 20 minutes. There's probably going to be room for more. Depends how succinct Debbie is with their answers. But listen, please fire in more. We've got probably enough to get through, but if more come in, we'll ask them. First question is from Lynn Haynes.
Hello, Lynn.
And Lynn is one of our newer viewers / crafters. And she says, sorry, silly question. It's not silly.
No.
Not silly. What is a letterpress technique?
Sorry, say that again. So, do you know what? Because when I turn round, I like flicker, like as if I'm behind myself in the camera.
What?
Look, let me move, look. Can you notice?
Oh, your camera's a bit laggy.
Yeah, it just really threw me off then, and I was like, ooh.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah, I looked like I had a funny head. Oh, it's got it looked something off a horror film where your double heads like spun round.
Oh, he's put a different camera on you now, I think.
It was very weird. So please ask the question again if you wouldn't mind, Ben, and I will concentrate on what you were saying.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, good.
The question.
Well, have I got a close-up now? Am I in this one now?
The question
number 2
is, silly question, not a silly question, from Lynn. What is a letterpress technique?
Sorry, what was that? I'm
not doing it again.
A letterpress technique, yes, and that's a great question, not a silly question, because there's so many different techniques, isn't there, in the craft land? And letterpressing is a really age-old technique where you press something into your cardstock. So a letterpress and embossing folder means if you use any of your ink pads, and pretty much you can use any ink pads, but your water reactive ink pads, your Duet ink pads, they're going to work perfectly. You put that onto the front of your folder, put your card in, put that on top. Then when you send it through, what that does, that impresses just the ink that has caught on the flat side into your embossing folder. So it looks like that natural letterpress technique. If you want to do it with heat embossing, you can also do it with your pigment ink pads, and then you're able to apply your powder over the top, your embossing powder, and then heat it, and then you'll get this amazing shine on it as well. But that's what a letterpress technique is. And if you want to see it at all, just Google it and you will find lots of different things or tutorials on how to do letterpressing.
Can you do it with like 2D and 3D embossing folders as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Any
embossing folders. Any embossing folders. Any size embossing folders, any shape embossing folders.
Cut and emboss folder.
2D cut and emboss folder, you can absolutely do it on as well. Yeah, the only thing is, be careful with your cut and emboss, because if you're putting a pigment ink on, it will stain the pad that cuts out. But that won't affect it because that bit is being cut away, so it's not going to affect it. But yes, you can do it on that as well.
There you go, Lynn. Brilliant. Louise Finken says, my question, which ink should I use with embossing powder?
Ink. Easy one. A pigment ink pad. The reason being a pigment is because it will stay wetter for longer. So you can then apply your powder on it and then heat it.
So you'd know straight away if you accidentally used one of the others, like if you used your quick dry, for example, it just wouldn't work, would it?
Just wouldn't stick.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't stick. You'd find bits of particles would stick to it, but the whole thing would not stick to it. So you absolutely want it to have a sticky ink. We call it a sticky ink. So your translucent ink or your pigment ink pads. Actually, your duets as well would work, because your duets are pigmented and water-based, so you could do both.
Thank you, Louise. Alexandra Gerling says, Debbie, I have been recently finding that die-cutting edgeables always completely distorts whatever cardstock I'm using. Would your suggestion of replacing the magnetic with the metal shim be the answer?
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. It is probably the most asked question that I get. So many people, there's no word of a lie, Ben, I get so many people message me and they say, how can I stop warping in my card? So it's why I've started to do it in a lot of demos now. So when I go to Hobby Maker, I do it there, and I've started to do it here as well, because and it's because of the pressure of the machine. We can't make we can upgrade our Gemini, but we can't make it more powerful in the pressure, because it would be too much pressure. But sometimes the pressure is too much for our card and our die, especially when you've got a large die and a lot of intricate space. So yes, absolutely try that. I guarantee it'll work. It's never failed on me. It's always worked, and that's to embed it into the cardstock first. Might not cut all the way, but you haven't got to worry about that, because then you take out your metal shim, put back in afterwards, and because it's already embedded into the card, it stops it from bending.
Is that something then that's just particular to our machines because they're so powerful, or would that happen, do you think, if someone had another brand of machine?
Depending on dies, depending on the coating on a die, and also depending on your weight of cardstock.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you've got a more flimsier weight card, that can buckle more than what a heavier weight card can do. So it can happen in all machines. So, but particularly in the Gemini, because it has a really lot of pressure in it.
Sarah Muir says, I do need to practice blending other colours with alcohol if I don't have a colour. Do you have any tips for that, Debbie?
So if you're blending alcohol pens, if you mean blending with another pen, then you do need to have a marker that's going to blend into another colour. You're not going to be able to blend a cool colour with a warm colour. So you need to have the same sort of colour families to blend together. We did do a marker that was that had slightly different variations of colours. So we did like a magenta with an orange, and they were our colour. They were the only tri-colour pens that we'd done that were alcohol based, and you would need to blend them with those colours. But there is a trick with alcohol markers if you do want to blend them. So you might have some Q-tips, cotton buds, and you can use isopropanol. So that's a rubbing alcohol basically.
Oh, okay.
And you can use that with your alcohol, and that will blend the colours together as well. So there's lots of different ways of doing them, and again, lots of tutorials out there, but you do need to have your same colour families to blend together. That will work best.
These are some great questions tonight.
Really good questions.
I'm loving these. There's more craft ones coming. There's some non-craft questions as well. There's still opportunity for you as well. If you haven't got your question in, please fire it in. We'll get to them, I'm sure. So this is non-craft, asking both me and you, Debbie. Lorraine, thank you for your question. Hi, Ben and Debbie. What flowers are your favourite flowers? Do you want to go first? Favourite flower?
Oh, a favourite flower. So I don't think I have an absolute favourite flower, because I like lots of flowers.
Yeah.
Because I love a daffodil.
Oh, do you?
I just love daffodils. I don't know whether it's because, I don't think it's my favourite flower. I just love when they come out, because they just remind me of spring and sunshine, and they're just everywhere you look. But they're just short-lived, aren't they, daffodils? But they've planted loads in my area where we live, and just behind on the field, and I love it when it comes out. And you've got just these fields of daffodils that come out, and so I absolutely love a daffodil. I do love a rose.
Yeah.
I think roses, I mean...
So a bouquet of roses on Valentine's would be your go-to?
I love flowers, so I wouldn't mind any flowers. And I love a chrysanthemum. I know it's a little bit of an old-fashioned flower, but I love a bold, big chrysanthemum. So and peonies are beautiful.
Yeah.
There's so many, aren't they? And then I like, which aren't even flowers, but I've got a poppy. I love poppies. So I think poppies are a lovely flower, even though I don't know if we still call them weeds, because we used to class a poppy, but they're now wildflowers, I would say, aren't they?
They're
but
beautiful.
some people would call them as weeds, because they can be quite troublesome if you get a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think poppies. So in answer to your question, I'd probably say a rose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have so many that I love. What about you, Ben?
I think I'm similar. Like roses are classic, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think if I was ever to get a bouquet of flowers, maybe if Laura's watching, you get me a bouquet of flowers. I'd love to get her a bouquet of flowers.
Do you have a favourite colour? Because I love a yellow rose.
Oh, well, so I like the traditional red, but I am also with you on I think a yellow rose is absolutely beautiful. I think yellow rose is friendship, isn't it? I
Is
think.
it? I don't
They've all
know.
got different meanings and
Oh,
different
okay.
colours. I'm sure yellow's
Right.
friendship. But yes, and also, as I was chatting about earlier on, funnily enough, I'm now such a big lover of sunflowers after I grew my own last year.
Sunflowers are lovely.
They're such happy.
Yeah.
I almost feel like this is such a weird thing to say. Well, because they are alive, like flowers, obviously. But I feel like sunflowers have got their own personality,
Yeah.
and the way they're sort of like stretching up to like reach the sun. I love them. I love them.
Yeah,
so,
they are nice.
Sunflowers and roses.
I love that question. That's really nice.
Someone called Nicola in the gallery.
Oh, Nicola.
Debbie, what is
Yes,
your
Nicola.
favourite storyline from Emmerdale?
Oh, my favourite storyline. I think it would go back to many, many years ago where they had a plane crash in the village. So, and I remember thinking, wow, like if this happened in real life, how frightening. And that's what I love about soaps. I know it sounds really sad, but these things can really happen.
Yeah.
I know they over-exaggerate and do all these different things, but sometimes they have a storyline that is just very hard-hitting, and that really made me think, well, that really could, planes have gone down. And I remember sitting there thinking, and it played on my mind for a long time afterwards as well. So that's probably my favourite storyline, but hard-hitting storylines I really like. So there have been a lot of hard-hitting storylines recently, which I think is what's took them up to #1. And I think it's really important sometimes to tell stories of people that are behind hidden doors. And it makes them feel like they're not so alone.
Did they ever do a live episode of Emmerdale? Because they did it for EastEnders and Corrie.
Yes.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did.
See, I don't like soaps particularly. It's not really my bag. But if ever I hear there's a live episode on, I'll always tune in.
Yeah, and probably, Ben, because you're looking for the flaws.
Yeah, of course.
You're looking for the faults. You're looking to see where they slip up. Yeah, I think that is quite natural to sort of look at that. But
You've got to be a hell of an actor to do that, haven't you? Because the nerves to do like a live, like, and remember all of your lines in front of millions of people watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could never act because I just wouldn't ever remember my lines.
Let alone in front of like 15 million people watching.
I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. That's a lie, actually, because I had a really tasty dinner last night. I can't remember what it was called. But it was rice with like something like a Mongolian like sauce.
Sounds lovely. Rice with Mongolian sauce. A taste sensation. Kimberly Ship says, Debbie, can you use the Aqua Markers just as markers?
Yes, you can. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't recommend it because with any cardstock, when you put your ink to the card, it just wants to absorb it, so it wants to grab that colour. So I wouldn't say that you should do that. But yes, you can absolutely do that. You can put it straight to the card. You can draw it out with water, or you can just use them. My granddaughters have got watercolour markers from me, and they just use them to colour with. So yeah.
Rebecca Dancer, hello Rebecca, says Debbie, I like mixing crafts up. So I paper craft with floristry or sublimation. What other crafts do you enjoy?
So so that's a good question really. I am absolutely a paper crafter through and through. So I love doing that. I have dabbled in the past with scrapbooking. So I love scrapbooking. Same sort of thing though with crafting. But I do like a bit of home decor. I love, in the past I've upcycled units, which I love. And I wish I had time to do that because I would absolutely love to decoupage something like in our paper pads, or do something that makes a piece of furniture, a bespoke piece of furniture. So I would absolutely love to do that. That would be my ideal thing. I have used Gilding Wax on my mirror before, so I think that's a good thing. So I'd love to do a bit more of home decor and bespoke pieces around the house. That would be cool.
This might be a bit of a tougher one to answer, but you might know off the top of your head. Janice is asking, which pack can I get white linen cardstock in?
Well, we used to do the white linen pack on its own, so I don't know if we've still got any. Nicola might be able to have a look, because my white linen came in a pack of white linen cardstock.
I want to say, I'm sort of half guessing here, but I think I'm half right. There's definitely white cardstock in that Fright Night, because I feel like there's almost every colour in that Fright Night pack. But we'll have a look and see which ones do have white.
So for me, I thought there was cream in that for the bandages,
really?
not white.
Not white.
Yeah, I think it was cream and grey we had in that pack. So
We'll have a
yeah,
look.
I don't know. We used to do linen cardstock in packs. That's where mine's from. I'm not sure if we've...
Oh, You can get 100 sheets of premium white
There you
linen
go.
cardstock, £12.99.
There you go. That's where mine's from. So on the website, £12.99, premium white linen cardstock. And how many sheets? 100 sheets. Yes, that's amazing.
Except you won't pay £12.99 because you'll use your code Leanne10 to get another 10% off, and £12.99 is your price before your Club Inspired discount.
Oh, I'm really pleased about that, because sometimes I use things and I'm a little bit like, oh, I'm not sure if I've still got it in stock. So go and buy your linen cardstock because it's amazing.
Rad Rach on the comments. Ben, do you still have the shirt you were wearing in Midsummer Murders? I do. Shall I wear it tomorrow? It's a Hawaiian shirt though. It's a bit. Still want me to put it on tomorrow?
Yeah,
I've worn it on
why
air
not?
here before. I'm sure I have. It's like a blue and red, very garish. I'll wear it tomorrow.
Why not?
You might have to
Why
remind
not?
me.
We're sort of matching today with our blues
Yeah,
today.
we are, aren't we?
Floral
We
blue.
were matching
no,
on the
not
other day as
florals.
well.
I thought I had florals on this. It's not florals
Is it
at
ha-
all. It's patterns.
The other day, must have been. Was it? What was that? It was
Monday. I was in a dress. Yes.
Yes, you had your autumnal dress on, didn't you?
Yes,
And I had a shirt which
That's
matched
right.
you there
Yeah,
under my
that's
cardigan.
funny, isn't it?
Matchy,
We could have matched
matchy.
yesterday. You could have wore your stripy
Oh
jumper
yeah, we'd
yesterday.
have 3 in a row then.
I'm actually wearing my leopard print jeans tomorrow.
Okay.
With a cream jumper.
I'll wear my leopard print jeans with my Hawaiian shirt. That will be marvellous, wouldn't it? Rachel's saying, wear it. I'll try and dig it out.
Tracy can't wait to see it.
Tracy's going to wear her leopard print jeans as well, I've heard. That's what she just told me. She's like, no, she's not. Right, we're going to have to get a crack on here because we've got 5 minutes. Sarah says, question, I made cards using the Fairy Glade papers.
Yeah.
I used wet glue instead of the tape pen because of the pearl texture.
Yeah.
And the card warped when it dried. What glue is best for textured papers?
Yeah, so did you say all-purpose glue she used?
She just said I use wet glue.
Wet glue. So tacky glue would be better, but sparingly. You don't want to cover it with loads, especially with your textured paper. Your Collao 3D glue gel, that will warp your paper because it's a solvent-based glue and it grips, so it will get into all the textures and pull it. So when it's pulled, if you don't lean something flat on it, it's going to warp your card. So I would say that you could definitely use tacky glue, but use it sparingly. And if you did feel like you really wanted to hold something down, just put something heavy on it for a little while. So I've got at home, I've got a tape dispenser, which is quite heavy, and I just rest that on my card while I'm making some embellishments or stuff for my card, and that will just allow it to dry. It doesn't have to be for long, but it will keep it flat as well. So that's a really good way to do it. And if not, if all else fails, red liner tape and our tape pens, they're brilliant for your texture cardstock as well.
4 minutes, 5 questions. Crafting Queen, Debbie, can you please advise which side of CC Craft Card is the right side, i.e. the side to stamp embossed colour on? They're slightly different, one matte and one more shiny, slightly different shade.
Yeah, so the one that's matte is the one that's the back of the craft card. You can use both though. Don't think like you can't use both, but you have got, and also one's a little bit more browner than the opposite side. So the lighter shade is the back of the card and the more sort of darker side is the front.
Jane Adams, can embossing powder go bad?
I've never had one that's gone bad. What I would say is if it's going crumbly or it's going sticky, you might have it somewhere where it's getting a bit damp. But I've never had one that goes bad, no.
Sounds like a TV show, doesn't it? When embossing powders
So I
go
don't
bad.
think it can. What you can contaminate, now there's a difference in that, because when you put your embossing powder onto something, you put it onto card and then you put it back in the pot. If you've got something that's damp or a crumb or a bit of something in that could contaminate it, so that could then make it go off.
Can you paint, asks Melanie, with the Duet ColourBloom pads like you can with the other water reactive pads? And if so, will they colour change if painted?
So you can do it, yes, you can absolutely do it. You won't see the colour bloom as much, but there will be a slight variation, yes.
Sarah says, do I need special plates for the jigsaw dies, the multimedia dies?
No, not at all. So you just literally take out your platform. So what you would use is your just 2 cutting plates and your plastic shim. That's it.
And the last question, this is a good one. Stacey Lou says, I'm going to be opposite. Debbie, what is your least favourite crafting technique?
Oh, am I allowed to say that? I do have one, but I don't feel like I can say what it is.
Oh.
Well, No, it's not my wax seal. So my least favourite thing to do, and not because I don't like it, it just can go wrong, is rub-ons.
Oh, really?
Foil rub-ons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love foil rub-ons, and when they go right, they're amazing.
Right.
But I don't like demoing them. That is my least favourite thing to do because I'm so worried that they'll go wrong on air. And I don't normally mind things going wrong on air, but you want to get that right because you want them to look lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same question for me, did you say? Shaker cards.
Oh, shaker cards.
You guys must remember when I tried to make a shaker card in 15 minutes, and what's that I'm just hitting in my ear? I'm making one tomorrow, Debbie.
Yes, you're making one tomorrow. You're going to craft along with me tomorrow, Mr. Moseby.
That's our craft along coming up at 2. So what you making, a box or a card?
We're making a box. We're keeping it quite basic, but we're going to make a nice gift box for Valentine's, so you can give a gift. Means you've got to buy a gift for Laura to put into it.
This gets worse. No, I don't mean that. I'll do a bit of crafting tomorrow. Oh, Laura's, sorry, because I have my WhatsApp open. Laura's literally just popped up on here. I'd have thought she was watching.
That's funny.
She's just said, can you pop this up and get some salad on the way home? I thought she was going to go, what do you mean?
That's so funny.
So I'm with you tomorrow for Wake Up Call.
Wake Up Call, where I think we're going to be showing some deals for the cartload,
Yes.
which is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
So good luck tomorrow. And then we're in for 2 hours, a 2-hour craft along. So we're literally going to take our time. We're going to craft along in real time. It's going to be amazing. And then you, Ben, are with Sarah for a party.
Well, I am. A big cartload show tomorrow night. We've got all things Christmas. So me, Debbie and Sarah tomorrow. Massive thank you to all the team tonight. Once again, brilliant as usual. And massive thank you to you guys as well for watching and for all of the questions too. Use that code before midnight, whatever you do. And we'll catch you here tomorrow back on Crafters TV. Until then, bye for now.